Make sure you subscribe today to get all the latest FIFA 20 news, updates, and career mode content. So I think today's video is going to be a good one. Today we are talking about FIFA 20 career mode and some things that you may not know about in the game mode. Now, if you're a hardcore career mode player, you probably know most of these things, but I hope you do learn one or two things today. But if you're more of a casual career mode player that doesn't really go into the menus, doesn't really test much, then you might learn a lot of new stuff today in the game mode. So, should be an interesting video overall, and let me know what you think if you knew some of these as we go along. And also, if you do enjoy the video, please leave a thumbs up. So I know a lot of people don't actually check the news section in career mode, but this year EA did add in a nice little Easter egg as an article in the news tile. Now, for this to work, you have to go to September 27, 2019 on your career mode save. Some of you guys probably have seen this already, but maybe some of you haven't because you don't really look at it. But go to your news tile once you simulate to the 27th of September, and then you have to go to the World News tab, and then you will see this article. The wait is over, FIFA 20 is available today. This is like an Easter egg, and it's based on the actual real life release date as well. So this year, September 27th was the worldwide release day of FIFA 20, and then in the game, you know, as part of one of the news articles, they did put one there just so you can read it, and let's see what it says. The newest footballing outing has been highly anticipated by career mode fans. Well, actually it did release broken, so it was anticipated, but it was a disaster on release day. For the first time in the series, players will be able to fully customize their manager personas, from full face editing to clothing options. It's a bit ironic because the people actually playing career mode know about these features before they read the article. So the article's just reiterating the same things that the career mode player has just experienced, even if they're playing FIFA 20 career mode for the first time anyway. With features such as press conferences and player chat, they will be able to manage the morale of the players in their squad, introducing the challenge to keep the team happy on the road to glory. Well, for the most part, it's not really a challenge because you can always say nice stuff and the morale's always going to go up. But anyway, that was a nice little Easter egg. Whether it makes sense or not, whether it reflected what actually happened in real life, does not matter because EA has decided to put some propaganda in career mode. So there are two settings that you may not know about in career mode. The first one is drop downs. If you do play the game and then you get sick of seeing drop downs coming up underneath the score clock, it might affect, you know, how you look at the game visually or something, I don't know. But you can turn that off now. EA lets you disable it, so no drop downs will occur underneath the score clock. And also, one of the bigger features that I did cover earlier, but some people may not know about it, you can actually change commentary teams throughout the season. So you can have like Martin Tyler going, but then once you get sick of him, you can actually change it. So you go to the commentary team setting, you can prioritize Derek Ray and Lee Dixon, or you can prioritize Martin Tyler and Alan Smith, or you can randomize it where it will change randomly. And yeah, so if you get sick of hearing one commentator, you can switch it up this year. They let you do that. So when it comes to career mode, the majority of contracts only go up to 5 years. That's because the game doesn't let you go any longer than 5 years. But in the real world, some contracts have exceeded 5 years. Some have reached 9 years. And 9 years is pretty much one of the longest contracts ever in football history. And there are a few players that are on a long-term contract. EA has actually acknowledged the deals in real life and put them in career mode. So Yere is on a 7-year deal. This is one of the longest career mode contracts. Now, Saul had a 9-year contract starting from 2017. He's now 2 years in, so he has 7 years left on his contract. So EA did put that deal in the game. Also, they did put in Joao Felix's deal for a 7-year contract. He signed that more recently, so he's doing that one as well in real life. There's also 6 years for Lottie, but it's nice to see that EA has acknowledged these real life long-term contracts and actually put them in the game for realism purposes. It would have been weird to see like 5-year deals for these players when they've actually got longer ones in real life. But unfortunately, they won't let us negotiate long-term contracts for players that we manage in career mode. That's not a feature yet. The max we can go up to is 5 years for some reason. So sometimes before the game starts, there is a warm-up cutscene that plays, and sometimes it does get annoying because you want to get straight into the game, and of course you get sick of seeing the same warm-up cutscenes over and over. But this year, I believe you can skip some of them at least. You have to hold down the square button. Hopefully it does come up here so we can test it out. It looks like we have a warm-up. You have to hold down square, and as you can see, hold to skip comes up, and then it skips the whole cutscene so you don't get stuck watching a 15-second warm-up, you know, because it can get annoying and it does get a bit repetitive, but yeah, they let you skip that as well. Now, there's also another trick where you can skip all these transitions. You have to hold down L2, R2, L1, R1 all at the same time, and it goes straight into the game. As you can see, with the press of those buttons, it's all done. You can also skip transitions in the game, like when the ball goes out, you press it and the throw-in happens straight away. You can also skip goal celebrations by flicking these buttons as well. And as you can see, it just saves you a lot of time as you're playing the game, because those cutscenes, those transitions all take up time. and some people can't be bothered. So yeah, it's a lifesaver, trust me. Later on in the game, when you try and skip them, sometimes the quick substitutions will become triggered. So just actually hold down L1 and R1 at the same time instead of all 4 buttons. And it works on the Xbox as well. You just have to hold down LB, RB, LT and RT. There's also kickoff emotes in the game, so after you concede a goal, go to your kickoff and flick the right analog stick up, down, left and right, and your player will do different emotes. Some will be talking to the opposition, some will be frustrated at his own team. As you can see, he's got his hands on his head now, and if you flick it to the left, there's another one that happens as well. Just waiting for it to happen, there you go. And then if you flick it to the right, there's another one as well. So this is more for an ultimate team thing where you can communicate with the opposition guy, but offline it does work as well. So these 2 images are pretty important for all career mode players to know, and these were actually made by my friend FCG, FIFA Career Gems. He's got a YouTube channel, make sure you go and check it out as well. But he supplies useful information on career mode, and the first image here is Youth Academy values and what they equal in overall. So it's like a conversion thing, value to overall. So if a player is ranked like 140k to 150k, his overall is going to be about 55. If he's valued between 325k and 425k, he's going to have a overall of 60. And if he's 1.1 million to 1.4 million, he's going to have a 66 overall. So yeah, very, very useful information for Youth Academy signings and stuff. So make sure you keep these charts handy because it can help you in your game. There's also another photo here, also made by FCG. And this one is for potentials and like the status. You know how a player has shown great potential or has potential to be special? Some people don't know what that actually means, and this is a chart that tells you what it means in terms of numbers. So if they're at the club since, it means they're below 80. If they're showing great potential, they have 80 to 85 potential. If they're an exciting prospect, they have 86 to 90 potential. And if they say has potential to be special, it has a 91 plus potential. So very, very useful charts. And make sure you go and check out FIFA Career Gems as well on YouTube. So I'm not sure if this is realistic like real life. I don't think it's right because it's not really fair for other players. But for some reason, from the second season onwards, when there's the Champions League and the Europa League, the game actually counts the goals scored in those playoffs as part of the player stats. So if we take a look at the standings for the Champions League, currently there is no games played. As you can see, there's 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 all the way down. But when we go and take a look at the top scorers tab, and I'm going to have to take my time here because the menus are so slow, you can see that we've already got players that have scored 4 goals in 4 matches. And obviously these players belong to clubs that are currently playing in the playoffs. So people got confused. They said, how are these already getting filled out when there's no games played? Well, it's because they're counting the playoff goals. Now, surely this is not correct because in real life it would be very unfair to the other players that play in teams that don't need to play qualifiers. But for some reason, yep, this counts assists as well, clean sheets and yellow cards and all that. So I don't know what career mode's doing, but surely this is not realistic. So this one is super important and you need to know it, but contract lengths don't actually stack up against each other when you renew them. They just replace what you previously had. So an example would be Joao Felix, 7 years on his current contract. Let's say I was thinking of like boosting it up to 10 years. I would have to add an extra 3 years on the contract. It depends what the game's going to offer me here, but I'm going to delegate a renewal just to add a couple more years onto the deal. You know, it doesn't really matter how much years you want, but I'm just going to bump it up here so he accepts something. All right, so it says 4 years. So I'm thinking maybe this contract length is going to go to 11 years now, which is good for me. You know, it's a super long deal. And if I accept that, I actually lose what I had before. So Joao Felix is gone now from the 7-year deal, and he's gone down to the 4-year column there. So I've lost 3 years on a deal because I renegotiated. So that is super important to know if you're going to be renegotiating deals for players that have long-term contracts. Even players with 3 years, if you delegate them as well, and let's say the contract length is 1 year, you're thinking that it's going to be 4 years of contract length now. It's actually going to go down to 1 when you accept it. So Vitolo had 3, and now he's gone all the way down to 1. So I've lost 2 years on a deal there. So I don't know why it happens, but it's super important to know not to renegotiate some deals. In FIFA 19, when players had 1 month or less left on their contract, you could actually renegotiate their contracts up until June 30th of the season. But this year they've changed it. You can't access the squad hub on the last day of the season. It only gives you the options to look at the tables and the notifications. So that means if you have any players that have less than 1 month left on their contracts, they were becoming free agents, they are going to become free agents now if you don't renegotiate before June 30th. So that's all for today. I hope you learned something new. If you need something else to watch, make sure you hit the card in the middle. It'll take you to another FIFA 20 video of mine. I'll see you next time.